pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes?
Yes, I have emailed minutes, the February 11th and March 2nd minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the February 11th and March 2nd minutes.
In favor? Carries.
Okay, I don't know if you want me to wait on the January bank rec. I don't know if anyone got a chance to look at it. I sent it out today. But I also have the December 2025 bank rec and the January 2026. So if you can approve the December, and if we need to wait on the January, did everyone get a chance to see it?
I got it.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the January and December bank rec.
In favor? Okay.
And then I have the allowance docket and the AP vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve the allowance docket.
I'll second. In favor? Carried.
Was that both docket and vouchers, or do you want to do them separate?
Docket.
Okay, thank you. The only other thing I have, I had a resident call and ask if she could have some of the bricks behind the gas station. I didn't know if there was, what we're gonna do with those, and I thought I better check with you guys.
Is that behind the star station?
Yes.
Okay, so proper video.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if we've really had any plans of planning it up, but just a liability issue as far as having people going over there. Did she say how many or what?
She didn't.
Do you have a number?
Yeah, I can call her.
Maybe Brendan call her and just ask her if she's just wanting a few or whatever. Brendan
Okay.
could probably go over there and grab some up for him. Not a big deal.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Brendan, you all right with that, Bob?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, you missed me.
No, you're good. Thank you. That's all you got, Robin?
Mhm.
We'll do new business.
Yeah, so we did make a decision to get a replacement for the public works superintendent position. We have selected Richard Goller, he's in the back there, the role. So he'll be starting on the 23rd of March officially with the town. So.
It's an alright.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You wanna come up and talk real quick? Sure. Give everybody your background, not that we don't know that you're probably a cop.
Sure.
So,
Oh, it's Halloween today. Been a police officer for 18 years, 17 in Fairmount. Prior to that, I was a fabricator at MoFab for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And then before that, I was in the United States Navy for 4 years, from 01 to 05. So kind of been around, done a little bit of everything. Within the service, I worked in, as a welder, along with the sanitation system on the ship. And then, obviously with MoFab, as a structural fabricator. And then we did a lot of maintenance on other people's stuff also. So, yeah, I'm excited to come on board. It's, like there's a lot of growth, and it seems like there's a lot, good direction we're going. So I'm really excited and appreciate you guys having me for sure.
glad to have you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Building inspectors too.
No.
No.
We'll get to that in just a second. So along the lines of Dollar, I'll make a motion to flop the liaisons. So I'll make a motion to move Brandon over to the police and Richard over to the superintendent. Street Works.
I'll second that motion.
What?
We're flopping the liaisons.
From what liaison to what?
Brandon will be over police and I'll take over public works.
Does Brandon know this?
Yes.
Do you have to have another vote on that?
That's what we're doing right now.
Well, you really should.
Doesn't
state-
he have to be present?
I don't necessarily think he needs to be present. I can research that, but you do need to do it as a motion, either amending or repealing and substituting for the motion that you did last time, creating these liaisons.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to amend
That's fine.
the motion that we made in January. That we made the liaison for the police department, Richard. And we made the liaison Brandon to the street department. So where we switched to where Brandon will be the liaison to the police department. Richard will go to the superintendent, street department.
That'll work. Anybody have a fruit to vote?
That's,
Yeah.
I made the motion.
You made the motion, so
Right,
now
so
you
now-
just. now
Need
you
the second.
You need a second, yeah.
Right.
I'll second.
Okay.
Now we need to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed?
opposed.
Okay, yeah, that's sufficient to carry.
I'm gonna question it, just because I have a question about that.
Yeah.
When we had this, when you did that, how can that, all of a sudden they can just do that? I don't understand that. Because that was a voted on.
Right.
We had to vote for that.
Right.
And then they just almost, all of a sudden, we're gonna just, and this is a 5-person. Hold on, I can't get my things together. We are a 5-person board. You come up here and you just say, we're gonna, with that being said, we're gonna just swatch this and that. And then we're a 5-person board. I feel that that needs to be re-voted on because you have 2 other people that could possibly want that position also.
I understand. Well, of
That's
course,
my
the
opinion on that.
the council acting in its authority can repeal or amend previous motions if it's done properly.
And can
Reconsider,
the president make a motion?
yeah. Can the president make a motion? We think we researched
Yeah,
that,
we did.
found out that there was a custom against it, but no actual rule or law is permissible. So the president can make a motion or second motions. Yes, there'd been a custom of not doing it. But as far as what you're saying, yeah, it's like anything else that the council puts to a vote. There has to be 2/3 of those present or a majority, 2/3 of the whole or a majority of those present, assuming there's a quorum present. So there's a quorum, there's 4, and there's obviously a majority, 3-1. So it can be done that way. I'm not sure what else I can tell you from a legal standpoint.
That's fine, I understand that, but that was my question is, I just didn't understand that, and plus, how can you put someone in a position that they're not even here to just automatically say, we're gonna move you to a new position of a liaison, and then he might even be here.
I didn't research it specifically, but I'm not aware of any rule. And this, by the way, it all goes back to Robert's Rules of Order because there aren't really procedural rules that the council has adopted. The council wants to adopt different procedural rules. They can certainly do that, but they've left pretty much everything open, and that therefore it defaults back to Robert's Rules of Order.
A question for you guys, sorry when you say that. So what made you decide this decision?
So my wheelhouse is more aimed primarily towards public works and maintenance. And Brandon having fire department experience, he has more of an idea, a realistic idea than any police department was there.
Hmm.
So it only made sense to me and Steve. switch.
Okay, and so did the 3 of you talk,
No,
or did the whole team talk?
I talked to Steve and Steve talked to Brandon.
The 3 of you talk.
No,
No,
we were all separate instances.
yeah, because 3 of us can't be in the same spot at the same time.
See, because that's where I'm getting, I don't think anybody understands me about this board, and that's one thing that I am here for the people And no one else is, and I'm sorry, people, if I get aggravated, I'm very aggravated right now. But I just feel that things are getting shady, and I don't like that. Cause I felt that a while back, that things get shady. And when that just came out like that, that was 100% shady to me. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and change this to that. We have 5 people on this
You
board.
can make a motion to repeal it. As long
What's
as
it gonna matter? He said, it doesn't matter.
You could, no, you could, there's no limit on how often the council can revisit motions, as long as it's done in the correct way, which is one of the 2 ways I mentioned. It doesn't even have to be done at the same meeting. In fact, I think there are actually some rules that limit the ability to do that, at least as a reconsideration. But you could do it at another meeting and the vote can be different and it can change again. I mean, that's the way the board works. That's the way the board works. It's a
I understand.
majority vote mostly.
I would love for this town to have a board that works together. And right at this point, we do not have that. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I want it to be that way. And I've tried to get it that way. But you all are going against me. I feel that way. And that's how I feel. And that right there just proved everything to me. I'm sorry that I feel that way. And that's how I just do. And I'm here for everybody here. And I just don't want it to be like that because that comment really got me. It really got me. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and change this to this. We are 5. We should have all said, I mean, to me, I would have thought, hey, guys, with that being said, can we do it this route?
4 of the 5 of us just voted for it. We just voted.
3. 3 of the board, correct?
Only-
Not me. Right. I heard you. Yes.
But we're all here to vote. So
That's
nothing was
fine.
shady, nothing was done. I mean, pretty sure it was all in the up and up.
That's fine.
Sorry you're offended. Okay, move on.
Okay.
County permits. Without Brandon being here. So the zoning board did meet. And I think they had less people that they weren't able to have a quorum. So they did discuss a little bit, about whether or not we were going to keep the, building commissioner, building inspector, here in town. The idea is that we move it to the county, to have the county be responsible for doing the permits and inspections. Mostly from my perspective, my point of view would be just for the liability issues. Unfortunately, there had been some incidents where, we were lucky we didn't get into any trouble, prior, but, I just think that having a county that person who does it full time as their job is just a little bit better way to go. And the commission did agree that they would, have the Madison County actually do the inspections as well. So I guess that's kind of where we're at. It is up for discussion, so if anybody has anything to speak on.
I have something on that again.
I do too as well.
With the permit, these are with your building permits, guys. So anytime you need a building permit, you're gonna now have to go to Madison County Courthouse to go get it. If you need something inspected, you're gonna have to wait for them to come and get it. To me, I'd like to keep stuff in our town. I just think, I understand that. I don't know what we've done before. How did we get away with it before if RD was not certified? Is my question. If we got away with it before and him not being certified, why can we not get away with it now? Or what is the difference? I mean, what is
Well, if the
the,
building collapses, we can get sued because we're saying we have a building commissioner and they can sue the town.
well, he had a building commissioner. He had a building commissioner certificate. He did have a building commissioner certificate.
County has commissioner's licenses.
Whatever he had was through the state. Or we wouldn't be able to have him on with that, on that, with that title. That's,
And we could still have been sued.
well, anybody could have on that, right, understand that.
So if we
But
have.
so my question, okay, so the thing is, before you have all these, my thing is, before I would transfer something to the county. And like, if we needed something here in town, and like, I'm gonna do a new, deck, say I'm gonna get a new deck, I need to get a permit. I come up, I get the permit. Get the permit, and then we need it, I would be expected or whatever. If they need it inspected or whatever, we come and get them and they get it inspected. The next step, if you looked at that sheet, you have to, for the county, do you know how much, if you add stuff up, how much that's really gonna cost every time they come out? How much that's gonna cost? That's a lot of money. We weren't, I mean, we didn't charge like that, is what I'm saying.
Well, I think the permit fees are actually a little bit lesser. to the
Yeah,
county.
some of them are cheaper.
And they don't charge per visit.
Yes, they do. At some point on there, I didn't bring it with me, I'm sorry. It did say per visit, per visit. Each time they come out, it's like $55. Per inspection. That's just some,
Fees for non-compliance. Re-inspection fee is $55.
Right, if they come out and find you're not compliant,
Yeah, if you're not,
or you've been reported that you were not in compliance.
Right.
Send someone.
That's not the same as them
Right.
issuing you the permit.
If they found you in non-compliance, then they would issue the fees, correct?
yeah,
I mean,
the way, here, let me pass it down. And they don't require permits for as much as we do.
Yeah.
As far as,
they don't even have a fencing permit.
right,
I'm just. I think both, I mean, I know it's up for discussion. And I think that I think it would need to go to, before we would do it, I think it needs to have a public hearing, so the town should be able to express their opinion on
we
that.
have to have a
We have to have a public hearing.
but we need to, tonight, we need to vote to say, yes, we want to have a public hearing, or no.
I mean, that would be my opinion. I think that one. I just knew that, I didn't know what it was, but I knew there was a different fee for them to come out again, so maybe you're right on that.
Well, I make a motion that we have a public hearing.
I second that.
All there. Alright. Opposed? I figure.
So how's that work?
I have to publish it in the paper 10 days before the meeting. And then people will come to the meeting and they get a chance to speak out. And then vote that night, or we don't have to vote that night. We can wait till the next meeting. It's up to the council.
Anything else in the business? To read ordinance and resolution. Oh,
I'm sorry.
you're fine.
You have both down there. The ordinance is all the yellow copy.
Yeah. All right, so passing ordinance. Chapter 32, redevelopment department and redevelopment authority. I need a motion to number the ordinance 2026-4 that it shall be placed on the first reading by title only.
Motion.
Sir? Second?
I'll second.
Any motion to read ordinance in its entirety by title only? Okay, 2026-4. Sir? It's okay. And I need a motion to accept the first reading.
I'll make a motion to accept the first reading.
Sir? Get a second. Ordinance 2026-4 has been duly passed and adopted. Chapter 32 redevelopment department and redevelopment authority. And Robin, we've got something here about a check considered void.
Yep, after a check has been issued and it's, over 2 years old, then I can void them out of the system with your approval, with the resolution. It's a $75 check from AIM from 23.
So we just need to make a motion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make a motion to void the $75 check made to AIM.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. With the check. Meeting minutes. We went through, we already proved that, right? One, two. We already did the vouchers. All right. Hang on. All right. Department reports.
I talked to David before, excuse me, talked to David before the meeting, and, we're gonna look into the payment to John a little bit more.
I think it's good. I will tell you this, Mark, I did a little quick research. I think it's gonna be problematical, but let me give you a final answer after I've completed it.
Okay, so same thing we were talking about last meeting about if we have to give him an hourly salary while he's at the academy or not. So, he's gonna look into that a little bit more. We've got him signed up for the, August class. So we can pull out if we need to or whatever. At some point, we need to get a vote, whether we're gonna send them. I've got the prices, but it's gonna depend totally on, what we can do with his pay while he's there. Couple options, if we have to, would be drop him down to minimum wage while he's at training. Or he's looking in to see if, because it's training, he might be able to volunteer for it, because some training we can volunteer for. So at that point, we would have fuel back and forth and car usage. The actual academy, according to what I've got from them so far, is $1,000 entry, once they cement him in, it's $1,000. But obviously the pay is the big thing. Do we have to pay him while he's there hourly? Or can we work something out? We got a new tire put on one of the Tauruses. 2020 siren box and the Tahoe's been fixed. He ended up charging us a little more because he said he couldn't find the programming to it. Could find it, and then he said he'll save it, so if we have any other problems, he'll have it on file. It wasn't a whole lot more, it was $100 and something, I think. We were still under what we talked about. Still waiting on the water pump from Humphreys. We're in line to get in there and get that done, but that's a decent sized job, so I've been staying on top of him trying to get it in. I'm gonna need tires probably on the Durango. Never got tires for that last 3 years. So probably looking at 160 a tire or so. So that's something Brandon can take care of. Did get kind of busy this month. We had several investigations going on, interviews going on. Patrol checks have been going good. Other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did you get any more information on quotes or anything for your stuff that's going on in there?
Now, Brandon, people that he reached out to get a quote, never quoted it, never sent him a quote. So. And I can't reach out for quotes because I'm in the quote process.
Oh,
So he was, remember, he was gonna reach out for quotes.
oh, okay.
So if we reach out to people and we don't get quotes, do we have to have three? Or whatever it is, whatever the number is? Or is it just an open bid and once
Yeah,
we close the
that's a
bid?
good
How
question.
long do we keep that out?
How long do you have to keep it open? I don't know the answer for that off the top of my head, but I can check on it. Have you gotten any quotes but the one at this point?
Nobody's, I'm speaking for Brandon,
Right.
but nobody's reached back out
Nobody
to
has reached back out. So you've reached out to them, they haven't reached back. And have you advertised it in a more general way?
so how much was it? 2,600 or something like that? It
Yeah,
was
it's
a low.
under, okay. Well, my impression is that you don't have to engage in a futility, but let me confirm that before you make a final decision about it.
I mean, obviously you can't keep waiting.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just think that's something
Yeah,
that needs to be done.
I'm almost sure you can, but I'd rather see something that tells me yes.
I
Right.
understand.
I'm just trying to stay completely out of it.
100%.
Right.
Thanks.
Good. The February 2026 overview, February included two minor snow events, one minor wastewater event, preparation for spring and summer work orders, and study needed for wastewater pesticide license. In this packet, I have identified several issues that need to be planned for and quotes for materials and equipment that would help smooth operations. Maintenance and service. We had one minor air vac wastewater call, 2/19/2026. The line was clogged and required jetting to clean. We'd use AP Handyman, that cost $125. We identified the problem as improper disposal of kitchen grease. We're assuming this is going to be a continued issue as we are responsible on the airback side, all the way up to that candy cane at the house. And it's being a reoccurring issue, but there's not much we can do about that. We do remind all citizens to be mindful of any product you flush or rinse down the drains. Failure to do so could result in costly repairs. We have ordered some minor parts for plows, as well as gotten a quote for new headlights through K&K. Both the damaged stop signs on Indiana and Lake Street have been repaired. Future projects and planning, spring cleaning of all buildings, including the chemical storage, will begin soon, as well as our yearly inventory. Road patching will begin soon, and we will be looking into ordering new cold patch mix. After being made aware of the purpose of the bulk manholes at the shop at the end of last year, Justin and I have planned to execute the swap sometime this spring. This will ensure that the storm drains are properly labeled to provide us with extra sewer lids for the west side if we may need. Recommended purchasing quotes. What we need to document and take bids to lift and repair sagging and uneven sidewalks on Main Street. Inside your packet, I have included pictures. Give you this photo here. There's several spots on Main Street that look like this. This reduces the effectiveness of drainage and creates a trip hazard. Following that, assess and determine if the decorative street lights downtown can be stripped and repainted or need to be replaced. Current post paint has failed, resulting in moisture buildup below the surface. Other photos including the packet. In this photo here. Assess and determine if the culvert just north of STS needs to be repaired or replaced. There's also a photo included. That has been forwarded to Lori, as well as we are working on finding contractors and requesting bids for repairs to the storm drains on the corner of Mill and Summit. Photo also included. We should be meeting with her sometime next week. I believe it's the 29th at 1 p.m. The 30th at 1 p.m. I've already met with several contractors, as far as it goes for the storm drains. Pars is the only one to come back with a rough estimate of approximately 110,000. I have a new quote for signage that I believe is necessary. I split the hardware in half, reducing the total cost to $11,230.91. This will allow us to safely reduce roads to one lane traffic when we cold patch during the summer, the spring and summer. Also included in this is the yellow diamond shaped folding hinge sign for the reduced speed ahead sign. That way we can put the sign up and we can have it folded up until the signs for the reduced speed limits are posted. We, according to follow the new IDM plan, given to us by, the engineers, we require, rain stop inflow shields, included in this quote from USA Blue Book. That comes to $911.60. This is a mandatory item to become compliant with the state. Following that are some nice to haves. In my daily checks, I'm noticing that residents are leaving dog droppings on the sidewalks. There are 2 separate pet waste bag dispensers as well as appropriate signage. These can be, we can attach a post to our existing trash cans so that we can mount them there. One of them has a light that comes with it. Another nice to have, instead of having to call AP Handyman for jetting of the airbag system, I would suggest that we get a new power washer. I have 2 separate, either one would work, as well as a length of jetter hose. There's a 50-foot length and a 100-foot length. They both come with attachments, and we can get one or the other or both. I would prefer both. And that concludes my report.
Those jetters, they're dual function, you can use them, the pressure washers, this.
Yes. I believe we currently have a pressure washer, but I think we're sharing that with the fire department.
As fire departments or as a,
I'll have to check the inventory, but I think it would be best if we had a dedicated.
we find out whether,
Yes.
which one's which. We can go from there.
In the EPU, it would be nice to just get the hose approved. If I can pop over there and grab that pressure washer and just put the hose in it.
We'll make a motion to approve the 100-foot pressure washer hose.
Did you say you wanted 50 and 100?
Yeah, he wanted
I would prefer both.
Fine for me if not one. Make a motion, or I'm sorry, I'm making the motion.
Yeah, well,
You may-
so I'll say, you can make a motion for both.
Make a motion for both the 50-foot and 100-foot jetter hoses. with pressure water.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We're gonna wait on the pressure washer then and.
He's gonna use it with the pressure washer that he is sharing with the fire department. Is that
Or
right?
you're wanting one for your,
I'll have to look at the inventories to determine whether the one we're currently sharing is theirs or ours, and then I'll probably look it up that next week.
okay, so for now, it's a horse.
We need a motion for
Good.
And we have a blue book, and then at least the discussion on the signage. Again, this can be split up as needed.
take a motion to purchase the inflow cover. Is that the one, this one?
Yes.
Yep, I'll do it.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor? Okay.
We'll make them a motion for the, we purchased the signs from Echo Signs for the amount of $11,230.91. Is that possible, Robin?
Yeah, it is.
Or do you
But,
want
I
us to
mean-
divide this up in certain ways?
No, we don't have to, but we'll just have to, be careful going forward this year, what we're spending.
So if we could break this down, Brendan, what would you, how would you suggest that we could do this so that?
I would definitely get the 30 by 30 one lane road. High intensity prismatic. I would get at least one right lane closed, one left lane closed. One men working. And, the 30 by 30 road closed signs, we are going to need if we are going to shut down Mill and Summit Street, that intersection, as we currently don't have any. All of the, poles and sleeves, we don't necessarily need at this time, nor the corner bolts. So essentially that cuts $4,000 off from the top part. Ultra super lock bracket with 12-inch L slot flat sheet names. Those can be cut off as well. So we're cutting off about 6, 7, 8. Cut off the super lock cross brackets. 1371.
Well, how about we do this? Do you want to get back to us on it? Do you want to look and see kind of how we could do this in different phases versus all at once
Yes,
and then get back with us? Great.
I can do that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, one more. I want to make a motion, we purchased these little, one of the doggy bag things. Pet waste eliminators at the station. I don't know which one though.
I think you said one's a sign and one's a.
Yeah.
They're both combos. They come with the bag dispenser and the sign.
Oh, one's just a light.
One just comes with a light, and it's the more expensive of the two. One is like $400 for the two, and the other one's like,
Not very much.
no.
That's all.
One is 418 and the other one is 339.
Where are you thinking about putting them?
They would be on Main Street, attached to the trash cans. We would put one down next to the, right there out in front next to the post office, and the other one would be down next to Gary's shop. That way there's one on either side of Main Street.
You're finding that the sidewalks uptown, or where you're finding this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm wondering if it's not loose dogs that are doing it and not people who are walking them.
Could be a little bit of both.
I
My
mean,
question, you don't put one down my house, I got a yard full, and I don't have a dog.
right?
I don't.
Why can't they
I
just
don't have a
put
cat
a
either.
trash, Ziploc bag or a grocery bag in their pockets when they take the
Right.
dogs out?
Right.
And it won't cost nobody nothing. That's
Yeah.
right.
We'll keep an eye on it too. I got a couple ideas, so it might be, same people walk their dogs all the time, so. I see them, I can mention accidents.
Watch it go on there.
So we're gonna get a second. Are you
I didn't,
Are you
I didn't,
withdrawing your motion?
I didn't, I was making the motion, but I said I didn't know which one. Do you guys think of which one, or should we just, let me withdraw it for now.
Okay.
Let's keep an eye on it and see what we think.
Mhm.
Let's give it about a month.
Being real close to catching the people that are letting their dogs poop on the library patio.
Okay.
They're just staying out of video, so we can't see them. But trust me, I am looking for those dogs.
I think that the neighbor that lives across the street, their dog, I've seen how
It's actual.
That shepherd mix,
on its own.
yeah, he's real sweet. He doesn't bother anything.
So it's
But
not
there's
that
a
dog.
husky mix that's just a terrorist.
Do we have anything for the council report?
I have some, whatever. I wrote down.
We're gonna skip over me.
Right.
No, I'm after.
Good.
Oh, okay. So for the council report on my end, I had a couple things I wanted to make attention to everyone. Something I seen out there today on Facebook, which I think everybody should know this. State Road 28 is going to be shut down from I-69 all the way to State Road 9, starting April. I took a picture of it so we can know this, and I wanted to mention it here. April the 6th. Just so that's good information for us to know here in town, because that's
Start when?
April 6th. So from 69 to 9 on 28 is gonna be shut down.
Is there an end date?
May 2nd. Yeah. The local traffic only is what it said, so I have no clue what they're doing.
Road problem.
Huh?
The whole road needs replaced.
I had that, I seen that, I wanted to mention that to everyone on that. My other thing was those polls, you already mentioned that that I seen that. I did notice, I had couple people ask me about Circle K. I've had people tell me it's been bought. Have you heard anything else on that?
All I've heard is it's been bought. They haven't
They
applied for
took
any
the dumpster
permits.
today.
They haven't, yeah, I mean, they haven't,
Not a carnival?
yeah. The name I got was Sing Properties. And that's all. I mean, unfortunately, we know about as much as anybody else.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what I think.
They bought a few village pantries, but I don't know if they bought this.
Yeah.
So, but they did take the dumpster a while ago and I seen them pulling out with it. So that's a good thing. We shouldn't see them taking it. You know, anything.
There were trucks out there, I think a week or two ago, and they measured off the area on the outside of the building.
Like, on Terry had mentioned something last meeting and I followed up on it and I was looking at that. Is there anything we can do about the people that did pave the roads? Cause they are bad. All of our roads that we just got done are terrible. I don't know who we complain to, cause I went around and looked and it's terrible. I don't know, that's something I think we need to follow up on because we spent lots of money.
No, that's fine. So, I mean, that would be something that Dollar, when he comes in, he could make contact with and start the conversation.
I already called them twice. They're supposed to call me back. They haven't done so.
Okay.
It's been about a week.
Okay. It's just, I did notice that. I was just, because I was trying to follow up with that, and that was really, so I wanted to follow up with on that. I had heard something that I watched the county, I don't know if anybody did that. I watched the county, meeting last night, and I don't know if this is gonna affect us in the next year, but they're gonna do a lot of cutbacks next year in the county. So, and budgets and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's gonna affect us. It's something we maybe wanna, something we need to look at or whatever. If we know what they're talking about, but I know they're talking about the county building as in the courthouse. They're talking about they want to do a lot of budget cuts as in people. So, do you know anything of any money budget things that they were talking about, Robin, or anything we need to keep an eye on at the time?
I can keep an eye on for it.
Yeah, I would just, that's something I was watching that, and I also heard that Jessica Baston no longer works for the county. She was the county
Engineer.
engineer, yes. And that was another one of sure on that. Yes,
Is there any way we could go ahead and maybe get those signs approved, the truck route signs? I know we've talked about them a few times, but I don't think we've actually approved them to get them.
You're talking about the ones.
I was putting semis.
Harry's got it all mapped out where he.
This quote's on the good side.
Are they on this quote?
They're not on this quote. They were on the last quote.
What trouble are you seeing? Mark is making you.
They don't follow it. They get up here and then their GPS takes them down that way. So it's,
GPS brings them in through the country.
and then they get down there. We've had two of them hit the tree right there by the park, on the corner. We literally told one of them, you cannot go this way. He didn't speak English. And he went up and turned and went and ran into the tree and tore his axle off his truck. And so if we could just get the signs maybe ordered, that would.
Good thing.
Well, yeah. Now, when you do the report, it's not. But if we could get the signs up, maybe it would stop some of it.
We don't have,
They're not on this quote.
right, so we can't do anything today,
Okay.
unfortunately, sorry. Alright. Attorney reports?
Okay, well, thank you. This was going to be practically a non-existent report, but we had a couple of issues come up. Let me start with what I was going to say, which was that Officer John Mansfield and I have been working in Elwood City Court to go through a small stack of abandoned car cases, and I think we have now completed them. The last one went to default yesterday, judgment, and the officer, I'm sure Mark will be involved in this, will be figuring out what dispositions make of the vehicles. Will be getting what amounts to an injunction, an order that will allow the town to take possession of the vehicles. So that resolves all the cases. I understand there may be another one coming, but we'll take care of that when it comes. However, Mark had a question about the evidence cage bid, and I can give you some preliminary information on that through the magic of AI, and speeds things up considerably. So we talked last time, and I'd done some research about what had to be done since you were, I'll just use the word because it's convenient, but you were an insider. There's a conflict of interest problem with you being the sole bidder. And while it wasn't strictly required, because the amount was under 50,000, it wasn't strictly required that we solicit 3 bids. My recommendation was that we do so to mitigate any concern. Now, there are a lot of requirements you have to follow, which you're aware of, conflict of interest disclosure and where that has to be filed. And if you or Robin have any questions about that, I'll be glad to address those. But that, as long as those are complied with, the fact that you didn't get any other bids, despite attempts to solicit them, does not preclude you, it does not preclude the council from accepting that bid, as long as it's a reasonable bid from a qualified supplier. So the council can proceed to do that. And Mark, you just have to make sure you comply with the conflict of interest requirements.
Which we're good at this point after.
Right.
You have to do that every
Each
person.
time.
Every time.
But I have it.
Yeah. If you want to wait till the next meeting and have me write up something, that's fine, but that's the preliminary answer. I haven't read everything. I did do independent research on the conflict of interest, but I have a hard time believing that I'm going to find out anything different. Obviously, you don't have to engage in a futility. I mean, if you've made a good faith effort to reach out, you haven't gotten any other bids, then you've complied with it, particularly since you weren't really required to do that anyway. You were just doing it as further mitigation of the conflict of interest. That's my relatively off the cuff opinion regarding that. The only other thing I'm working on right now that I know of is getting Mark an answer on the payroll issue for I guess that's also John Mansfield on his participation in the academy. And all I can tell you about that so far, Mark, is that he's going to have to be on the payroll. However, the devil is in the details. So I'll find out more and we can talk about what exactly that means.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
And then anything for the citizens? Terry?
Maybe a couple.
Yeah. Come on.
Just got answered though.
Good.
I think Terry 92 on South Second. I think any responsible citizen that's walking their dog should be carrying their own bag. I don't think we need to provide it for them. I clean it up at my house all the time. It's not my